When she looks you in the eyes and says, "I need space to figure things out," she's not confused about your relationship. She already knows exactly what she wants. She wants him. The space isn't for thinking, it's for cheating without guilt. I've heard this phrase destroy more marriages than any other single sentence. It's the ultimate manipulation wrapped in therapeutic language, designed to make you feel like a supportive husband while she systematically replaces you with someone else. Listen closely, because every minute you waste believing her space excuse is another hour she spends building a life with another man while you wait at home like a loyal dog, convinced you're being understanding and mature. Scenario 1. The personal growth. Space. She comes to you with tears in her eyes, speaking in the language of self-help books and therapy sessions. "I need to find myself again. I've lost who I am in this marriage, and I need space to rediscover my identity before I can be the wife you deserve." Your heart breaks for her struggle. You admire her courage for being vulnerable. You tell your friends how proud you are that your wife is prioritizing mental health and personal development. You're literally celebrating the setup for your own betrayal. Here's what finding herself actually means. She's found someone else, and now she needs space to explore that relationship without the inconvenient obstacle of marriage vows getting in the way. That personal growth journey. It's happening in hotel rooms with her life coach, the charismatic consultant from her company's leadership retreat who's been sending her inspirational quotes and meeting requests for private sessions. The psychological manipulation is masterful. She's reframed cheating as spiritual awakening, betrayal as personal evolution. Every Tuesday and Thursday evening, meditation class is actually dinner and intimacy with Marcus from the executive training program. Every weekend, solo retreat for inner healing is a romantic getaway where she's discovering exactly who she is when she's not your wife. But here's the twisted genius of this manipulation. She makes you complicit in your own destruction. When you support her growth journey, when you give her the space she needs to heal and evolve, when you encourage her to take time for herself, you're literally financing and facilitating her affair with your emotional support and practical accommodation. The space isn't about finding herself. It's about losing you without having to face the moral consequences of deliberate betrayal. She gets to explore her feelings for another man while maintaining the image of a thoughtful, evolving woman who's working on becoming a better person and partner. Watch for these red flags disguised as spiritual awakening. Sudden interest in mindfulness when she's never meditated before. New vocabulary about authentic self and emotional boundaries that sounds rehearsed rather than natural. Secret journaling that she protects more carefully than classified documents. Growth activities that require privacy, evening schedules, and perfect makeup. The cruelest part. When the affair is discovered, she'll blame you for not supporting her journey of self-discovery. "If you had given me the space I needed to grow, I wouldn't have had to find it somewhere else." The victim becomes the villain in her rewritten history, but using personal development as cover is amateur manipulation compared to the emotional terrorism of the next scenario. Scenario 2. The mental health crisis. Space. This is the nuclear option of manipulation, and it's pure psychological warfare. She weaponizes mental health language to create unquestionable justification for behavior that would otherwise be obviously suspicious. "I'm having panic attacks about our relationship. I need space to work through my anxiety with my therapist before I can be present in our marriage." Your protective instincts go into overdrive. You research anxiety disorders, join support groups for partners, of people with mental health challenges, learn breathing techniques to help her through panic episodes. Meanwhile, she's using your compassion as a cover story for the most elaborate deception of her life. Those therapy appointments 3 times a week. Their coffee dates, lunch meetings, and afternoon hotel visits with Dr. James Morrison. Not a licensed therapist, but the recently divorced pediatrician she met at her actual therapy session, who understood her struggles in ways her husband never could. The panic attacks about your relationship aren't about anxiety. They're about guilt from cheating and fear of getting caught. Here's the devastating psychology. She's using real mental health terminology to manipulate your empathy while conducting behaviors that would genuinely damage your mental health if discovered. Every concerned text about her panic symptoms gets responded to hours later because she was busy creating the very situation that's supposedly causing her emotional distress. The manipulation deepens when she starts blaming your marriage for her mental health struggles. Being in this relationship triggers my anxiety. I need space to heal before I can love anyone properly. She's not healing from trauma, she's creating it. Every secret meeting with her affair partner increases her guilt, which increases her stated need for mental health space, which provides more opportunities for secret meetings. Watch for these specific warning signs: mental health crises that conveniently align with suspicious scheduling, therapy appointments that never result in improved behavior or insights, new mental health vocabulary that sounds professional but feels disconnected from her actual emotional patterns, healing work that requires secrets, privacy, and isolation from the very person who should be supporting her recovery. The ultimate cruelty. When you discover the affair, she'll claim your lack of understanding about her mental health struggles drove her into someone else's arms. He understood my anxiety in ways you never could. You made me feel guilty for needing help. Your compassion becomes evidence of your failure as a husband, but psychological manipulation through fake mental health needs is still just preparation for the professional-grade deception of the next scenario. Scenario 3. The career focus space. She sits you down with spreadsheets and career development plans, her voice filled with ambitious determination. I've been offered an incredible opportunity, but it means longer hours, more travel, intense focus. I need space from relationship demands so I can concentrate on advancing my career without distractions. You feel proud, supportive, even a little turned on by her professional drive. This is the ambitious woman you married, finally getting the recognition she deserves. You adjust your schedule to handle more household responsibilities, take over kid duties, even suggest she needs a home office where she can work uninterrupted. The devastating truth: there is no promotion, there is no career advancement opportunity. There's Michael Richardson, the senior partner at the consulting firm, where she's been having strategic planning meetings every Tuesday and Thursday evening for the past 6 months. The career she's advancing is her relationship with a married executive who promises her professional opportunities in exchange for personal attention. Those late nights at the office aren't about climbing the corporate ladder. They're about climbing into bed with someone who makes her feel powerful, desired, and professionally valuable in ways her marriage supposedly doesn't. The client dinners requiring overnight travel aren't business development. They're relationship development with a man who's been financing her professional wardrobe and paying for hotel rooms where they conduct very private performance reviews. Here's the psychological manipulation that makes this scenario so effective. She's using your respect for her professional ambitions as a shield for personal betrayal. Every time you support her career goals, encourage her networking events, or adapt your schedule to accommodate her professional demands, you're enabling the very behavior that's destroying your marriage. The evidence is hiding in plain sight. Expense reports for business dinners that happen at romantic restaurants. Professional development conferences that focus more on wine tasting than skill building. New business contacts who never appear on LinkedIn or company directories. Career achievements that don't translate into actual advancement or increased income. But here's the twisted psychology that makes this manipulation so brutal. She convinces herself the affair is career advancement. In her mind, the relationship with Michael isn't cheating, it's networking. The hotel meetings aren't betrayal, they're professional development. She's not destroying her marriage, she's building her future. Watch for these specific red flags: sudden career ambition that doesn't align with previous professional interests, business meetings that require extensive personal grooming and expensive outfits, professional relationships that demand secrecy and privacy, career advancement that produces emotional fulfillment but no actual professional progress. The most devastating part: when the affair is exposed, she'll blame your lack of support for her professional growth. "You never believed in my career the way he did. You held me back while he saw my potential." Your encouragement becomes evidence of your inadequacy as a supportive partner. Career advancement manipulation is sophisticated, but it's nothing compared to the family destruction strategy coming next. Scenario 4. The family crisis. Space. The phone call comes at 7 p.m. on a Wednesday. Her voice is shaking with emotion. "My sister is going through a horrible divorce. She needs me right now more than ever. I have to focus all my energy on helping her through this crisis. I need space from our relationship stress so I can be there for her." Your heart goes out to both women. You remember how much her sister means to her, how close they've always been. You encourage her to do whatever it takes to support family during this difficult time. You handle dinner alone, bedtime routines solo, weekend activities without her, all while feeling proud of your wife's loyalty to family. The brutal reality: her sister's divorce was finalized 6 months ago, and she's happier than she's been in years. The family crisis requiring your wife's urgent attention every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday afternoon is actually David Chen, her sister's attractive divorce attorney, who's been providing very personal legal consultation services long after the court case ended. Those emergency family support sessions aren't happening at her sister's house. They're happening at David's downtown apartment, where your wife has been receiving intensive counseling about relationship law, emotional recovery, and new beginnings. The legal advice sessions require no clothes, no recording, and definitely no discussion with the client's sister. But here's the psychological manipulation that makes this scenario devastatingly effective. She's weaponized family loyalty against marriage loyalty. Every time you support her family crisis management, every accommodation you make for her sister's needs, every solo evening you spend handling household responsibilities, you're directly enabling the destruction of your own family. The family crisis alibi is perfect because it's unverifiable and morally unquestionable. You can't demand to speak with her sister without seeming controlling. You can't question the urgency without appearing selfish. You can't investigate the details without looking like you're prioritizing your marriage over family emergency support. Watch for these specific warning signs: family crises that require perfect makeup and expensive outfits, emergency support that happens during business hours when family members should be at work, crisis management that produces no visible results or family member improvement, support sessions that require secrecy from other family members who should be involved in major life transitions. The evidence trail runs through financial records, restaurant charges for 2 people during family crisis support hours, hotel room charges in cities where no family members live, gift purchases for people not in your family circle, gas station receipts from locations nowhere near family member addresses. Here's the cruelest psychological twist. She starts comparing your marriage unfavorably to her sister's divorce. Sarah is discovering who she really is now that she's free from that controlling relationship. She's so much happier living authentically instead of pretending everything is perfect. Your wife isn't supporting her sister's recovery. She's researching her own escape plan. Family crisis manipulation attacks your deepest values about loyalty and support, but the next scenario weaponizes your love for your children. Scenario 5. The parenting pressure. Space. She breaks down crying after putting the kids to bed, her words heavy with maternal guilt and exhaustion. "I'm failing as a mother. I'm so overwhelmed with parenting stress that I can't be present for anyone. I need space to figure out how to be a better parent before I completely mess up our children's lives." Every father's protective instinct kicks into overdrive. You see the woman you love struggling with the most important job in the world, and you want to help. You take over morning routines, handle school pickups, manage weekend activities, coordinate playdates, anything to reduce her parenting pressure so she can find her balance again. The devastating truth she's hiding: those parenting stress relief sessions aren't happening at meditation classes or therapy appointments. They're happening at Kevin Murphy's house, the divorced father from your son's soccer team who's been offering very hands-on parenting advice during private coaching sessions every Tuesday and Thursday while his kids are at their mother's house. Your wife isn't overwhelmed by parenting stress. She's overwhelmed by guilt from cheating while maintaining the appearance of devoted motherhood. Those afternoon self-care breaks to recover from parenting burnout are actually intimate encounters with a man who makes her feel desired as a woman instead of just needed as a mother. Here's the psychological manipulation that makes this scenario so emotionally brutal. She's using your children's well-being as justification for behavior that would devastate their family if discovered. Every accommodation you make to reduce her parenting stress, every extra responsibility you assume to give her recovery time, every supportive gesture you make, you're facilitating the destruction of your children's stable home environment. The parenting pressure alibi is psychologically perfect because questioning it makes you appear unsupportive of child welfare. You can't demand more involvement from an overwhelmed mother without seeming selfish. You can't investigate her stress relief activities without appearing to prioritize your marriage over your children's needs. You can't question her parenting struggles without looking like you don't understand maternal pressure. Watch for these specific red flags: parenting stress that requires makeup and fashion preparation, mother-child bonding activities that exclude children, parenting improvement sessions that happen during school hours when kids need transportation and supervision, self-care recovery that produces no visible improvement in parenting skills or family stress levels. The evidence is hidden in everyday family logistics: soccer game attendance records that don't match her claimed presence, school event photographs where she's absent despite claiming to attend, carpool duty schedules that other parents report differently than she does, parent-teacher conference notes that reference conversations you never heard about. But here's the cruelest psychological manipulation. She starts blaming your marriage for her parenting struggles. The stress of pretending our relationship is perfect is affecting how I parent. I need to resolve my personal issues before I can be the mother our children deserve. She's not protecting your children from marital stress. She's creating the very instability that will traumatize them when her deception is discovered. The most devastating part: when the affair explodes your family, she'll claim she was trying to preserve their stability. I was working on myself so I could be a better mother. You forced this confrontation before I could figure out how to fix things quietly. Your support for her parenting recovery becomes evidence that you don't understand the complexity of modern motherhood. Weaponizing parenting stress is emotional terrorism, but the final scenario is the most dangerous because it makes you complicit in your own psychological destruction. Scenario 6. The relationship work, space. This is the ultimate manipulation, using marriage counseling language to justify marriage destruction. She sits you down with the calm authority of someone who's been reading relationship self-help books and watching therapy videos on YouTube. I realize I need to work on myself before I can work on us. I've been bringing too much personal baggage into this marriage. I need space to heal my individual issues so I can show up authentically in our relationship. You're moved by her self-awareness and commitment to improvement. Here's a woman willing to do the hard work of personal growth for the sake of your marriage. You support her individual therapy sessions, encourage her journey of self-discovery, even attend couples counseling sessions where you work on giving her the emotional space she needs to heal. The crushing reality: her individual therapy sessions are actually individual hotel sessions with Dr. Marcus Thompson, not a licensed therapist, but the marriage counselor from her company's employee assistance program, who's been providing very personal, very physical healing techniques during private sessions that have nothing to do with professional therapy. Those breakthrough moments she shares from her individual work aren't insights about childhood trauma or attachment patterns. They're rationalizations for conduct that would horrify any legitimate therapist. I'm learning that I need to honor my authentic feelings instead of forcing myself into roles that don't serve my true self. Translation: she's learning how to justify affair behaviors using therapeutic language. Here's the psychological warfare that makes this scenario the most dangerous. She's using your commitment to marriage improvement as permission to destroy the marriage. Every supportive gesture you make toward her healing journey, every accommodation you provide for her therapy schedule, every patient response to her emotional processing, you're literally funding and enabling the systematic replacement of your marriage with another relationship. The relationship work alibi is psychologically bulletproof because questioning it makes you appear resistant to marriage improvement. You can't challenge therapy without seeming opposed to personal growth. You can't investigate healing activities without appearing unsupportive of emotional health. You can't question individual work without looking like you don't understand professional therapeutic boundaries.